uweze kujua ni vipi. Anyway, it's indeed a very very good morning to you. Na karibu kwenye Tackle. I usually request when you please like what you like. I know that you're watching us, and what you like, please share. When you share, you give someone else an opportunity to wide the broadcast. This is a Tackle, and Tackle begins now. Siasa Wednesday, na tuko na wageni hapa kama tuambia jana. Masaki aliingia nyasi jana, so leo amerudi, ameappeal. Appeal leo Masaki anasema anataka he wants to be your senator, the next senator of Nairobi County. That is Mheshimiwa SAMWEL Masaki. Alafu pia tuko na Mheshimiwa WILLIE MBUGUA KAMAU, who is an independent candidate at KIAMBAA. Anataka kuwa mbunge wa KIAMBAA. Anasema kwamba kuna nafasi ya wale watu ambao wanafanya siasa ya independent candidates pale KIAMBAA. Pia tutakuja kujua kweli ni mwisho wa machama vipi. Nasikia kuna mtu alisema jana Jubilee ilikufia Juja, mazishi ni KIAMBAA. Hivyo aja siasa ya KIAMBAA ni vipi? Anyway, the tackle begins now. Lakini kama kawaida, kabla tuanze kazi lazima tuende mbele za Mungu tuombe, alafu tukirudi tunakuja kuwapa salamu zenu. Naona maamka tayari mapema sana. Kirudi hapo nakuja kuwasalimia. Mighty Father, we come before you this morning. We worship you, glorify your name. Thank you for another opportunity to be alive this morning. We thank you for what you given us to do as we go ahead and work, as we all go out and try to do what you given us to do. May you bless the work of our hands. Even thank you for this show as we start off. Be with us even as we have this conversation. May it edify the fabric of this country and society. We'll start off with us. When you finish, glory and honor shall come back to your name. In faith I pray and believe. Amen. Haya, naona kuna sana mingi zimeenda sana mingi zingine. Mungu alita continue, antaanza na wewe. Naona ndio wewe umepanda hapo juu, watu wengine wamezama kidogo. Anasema morning team Tackle tuning in from Coventry United Kingdom, looking forward to this morning Siasa Wednesday. Thanks, asante sana ndugu yangu. Mungu alita continue. This guy is in the UK and he's never late. Yada inalalamikanga anasema, why are you guys starting late? Why are you late? All right. Na Mungu alita continue. Jerry Ordo anasema good morning to my brother Emmanuel Sadem. Good morning bro. Tafutane leo ama kesho. Naona Jacqueline Kijabichi tuned in from Kiambu. Asante. Unabondirangu favor tuned in kabisa. Asante. Kisimba Desa morning. Good morning to you my brother. Agnes Kimnai anasema good morning. Evans Arab Serone, good morning JB watching from Nakuru City. Stephen Karoda Coop Bank CIC Plaza Upper Hill, always tuned. Thank you so much my brother for always tuning in from Upper Hill to our Coop Bank CIC Plaza. Moses Kamau Bishop, good morning from Chepkinoi. Unazunguka sana kaka. Waviki morning bitoku huyu ni Thuku tuned in from Nyahururu. Asante sana, thank you so much Thuku, all the way from Nyahururu. It's good to see you. Nathan Kimani morning tuned in from Kiambu. Lawrence Kigen Kiblagat and some good morning tuned in from Eastleigh. Asante. Josiah Kinuthia, good morning waiting for the debate from Kisii County. Linda Korid, good morning tuned in from Bavaria, Germany. Thank you, good to see you Linda. Hata umepotea, good to see you again. Umepotea zaidi. Karoki wa Masi watching from Kayole. I'm back from short leave. Ulipotea sana Karoki wa Masi, salimia watu wa Nyeri pia. Dominic Ruta tuned in from Paris. Don Maverick, good morning from the CBD. We need to hire the slapper from France. Kenya can afford many contracts. Emmanuel Serem, na watu wa State of the Nation wamanza. Nsaidia simu hapo tafadhali. State of the Nation naona amepotea. Haya, Emmanuel Serema anasema Dabari Store chama ya mapatano. Haya, akuja atupatanishe. Umeanza mapatano pale ama mapatanisho ya kisiasa. Karibu sana Damaris. Na mwisho na Emmanuel Serem. Richard Karinguri, good morning tuned in from Katundu Town. Asante. Boni Baratoni Babatoni, good morning Rais tuned in from Kangemi. Asante sana tu Kangemi kwa mapenzi ambayo mnapa rais wenu, rais wa Lanyasi. Asante sana. Rosli ala Lady Tosha Tarbo from Tarbo tayari ndani ya show kubwa. Good morning Vito. Good morning to you Lady Tosha. Salimia sana to Tarbo. Councillor Tarus B, good morning GB. Good morning to my brother Elvis QW. Good morning Gerald B Talk. Say I to WILLIE MBUGUA and Masaki. The future is bright for the youth. Watching from 027. Asante sana Marvin Wamukota, Body General and team. Today I have to applaud myself for joining right on time. Karibu sana Marvin. It's good to see you. Kashesa Junior Senior tuned in from 005. Emmanuel Serem naona anasalimia na Juliana Hali na Rosie pale. Johnson Coit, good morning. Massive blessings morning sir, watching from Nairobi County. Tafutane sa mimi nipo tafute niko kabisa. Haya, naona John Kipruto, good morning watching from Great County of VMC. Migwi Kimunyi Cyrus, good morning Sanyeri County. Mukuruweini well represented, salimia viongozi. Nilikuwa pale Mukuruweini. Watu wa Mukuruweini ni wazuri sana. Adenipea avocado. Haya, ila anasema morning GB ni LA from Kajiado, salimia Takla sana era Jubilee. Ila umepotea sana bwana. You need to look for each other. Tafute pia ila Kajiado. Wilson Chelel go, good morning GB pre-budget show. Haya, By the way, kinaumana pale kwenye bajeti. KAMAU Githari wa Tumaini morning, ansalimia wageni watu watching from Dabibi Central Naivasha. Gili Kuruche big good morning to from Ongata Rongai. Steve Karoda CIC pale hapa but Tim Skips Bwale morning tuned in from Eldoret. Charles Kirui morning general watching from Karen. Asante VSQW like and share tafadhali like and share. Balosi Eric Meja ndani nategea mpango mzima Sergea ndio maskani. Asante Barcho Alasis Malu mtu wa Mandera, sijui kama leo uko heri, jana ulikuwa kwenye show, sijui kama umerudi Mandera ama bado upo. Massive blessings na kwanza good morning sir locked in from Nairobi. Sasa tafadhali please niko masi niangushie message pale tatafutana. Gloria Musheru answer good morning tuned in from Riro say to Masaki Nairobi Senator 2022. Haya karibu sana, una tayari ushapata kura hapa. Haya naona Gloria. Haya tusikie State of the Nation. Good morning.
Morning.
Jambo. Safi sana. Huyo ni Rosie lazima.
Lady Tosha mwenyewe wa Tarbo.
Habari ya Tarbo?
Tarbo tuko salama, tayari kazini, walimu wanakusalimia sana.
Wasalimia walimu. Nitakuwa Eldoret ile weekend nyingine. Nitakuja mpaka Tarbo. Mnitengenezee githeri.
Sasa. Mimi nauliza huyu mwenye umesema atasimama kwa nini independent KIAMBAA. Namwambia
anaitwa MBUGUA.
Shuke join. Ile chama cha hustlers.
Yani Rosile yalo unapeana instructions kutoka Tarbo. Unapea watu wa KIAMBAA instructions. Ni hatari kweli.
Anamuomba tu ashuke, akishashuka. Akuwe na mahustlers. Hii mambo ingine mzuri itafuata baadaye, kwa sababu mimi naona vile mambo inaenda. Wa UDA ndio atashinda. Achukue watu wake wakampenie UDA. Na mambo itakuwa sawa.
Haya, so
huyu wa Nairobi naye aendelee kukampeni tu, mwenye anasema atasimama.
Anasema gogo juu ya wheelbarrow.
Juu ya wheelbarrow.
Amesema ni mtu ya wheelbarrow.
Bas, anang'ane kabisa, hiyo atapata. No doubt about that. Hata waisarbo tuko poa.
Asante, salimia walimu. Nitakuja kutafuta weekend ile after hii, ile weekend nyingine nitakuja.
Kabisa karibu.
Asante sana Rosie. Aya, thank you. Umesikia bana mambo. Aya, kuna mtu ameniambia hapa, hiyo ni Joseph Makumi Munga governor, anasema Majela Bitoki invite Njuguna Wanjiku. Nitakuwa na special edition ya KIAMBAA ambaye pia kina MBUGUA atakuwa. Nataka candidates wote wa KIAMBAA waeke lineup moja. Alafu waambie watu wa KIAMBAA ni nini wanapanga kuwafanyia. Kwa hivyo I'll extend the invitation, the people will come, wako karibu, ambao watakataa kuja pia ni sawa. Nasikia kuna wengine hawajui English kama ni ukweli.
Sijui kama ni ukweli.
There
is only one way to find out. Invite us.
So we'll have a special edition for KIAMBAA. When is the by-elections?
15th of July.
15th of July.
Yes.
Okay. So nitakuwa na lineup mzima ya KIAMBAA. Tutapiga show safi sana ya KIAMBAA. Tusikie watu ambao wanagombea kiti cha KIAMBAA ni nini ambao wanataka kufanyia wananchi wa KIAMBAA ili wananchi kwa waweze kujifanyia uamuzi kamili. Naona Vini anasema tuned in from Wamba Samburu. Asante Kiblandu Kipkwa Ladi live na mimi tackle sana. Karibu sana. It's good to see you. Tuned in from Eldoret. Festus Unity Karatina tuned in watching from Karatina town. Asante, watu wa Karatina ni wazuri sana. Nilipata kahawa pale pia. Andre Bambogo wa Shiko morning watching from Dubai, na tuletee Mother Karua. Haya, tamleta na pia Mutunga atarudi, alikuwa amekuja atarudi. Balosi Eric Meja, anybody backed by Jubilee for KIAMBAA parliamentary seat should lose very early in the morning. Hata si saina. The masses are intensely angry with the president and his Jubilee kiosk. Very angry. I always fail to understand why this electric baby ignore this fact. Uhuru and this Jubilee party operates like they're still the darling of the Gema nation. What this Sion failed to acknowledge is that this nation has decisively moved on from its politics. If Juja didn't teach Uhuru and his party anything, then KIAMBAA will confirm his what fears. His by-elections for MCS deep in Kikuyu land didn't tell Uhuru anything. Then I think he's lost his mojo. He lost his mojo. Look, you brothers in Kikuyu land can see all the projects that Uhuru is doing. In fact, I'm reminding you, your taxes at work. Plus, but then tutalipa tukilia cho. But let no one come to you and tell you that you should be worshipping Uhuru just because he's constructing roads. My friends, personally, my political hatred towards Uhuru, towards Uhuru is an all-time high. I'm balozi na sifichi. I hate him with passion. Okay, there is nothing that that face of dynasty can tell me nisikia mampende. Manipende. Okay, we Kenyans have an opportunity to gang up on this dynasty and all those that they support before 2022. And in 2022, hapa cha kubembelezana punda kwa mteremko. No, anyone supported by Uhuru must be treated like a snake neck, that must be it from the head. Alafu ni kuchoma nyoka na mayai yake kijujani. Okay. Look, on the Kiambaa race, I think people have suffered enough. As Kiambaans, whoever will be elected member of parliament, as wadanganya ati will deliver this in less than a year. Hiyo ni uongo tupu. So the only option you have is to turn this Kiambaa contest into a purely political one. Let this race be about politics. I refuse to see the candidates via the prism of who can deliver or who can deliver. I choose to view this contest as purely between haves and the have-nots, the hustlers versus the dynasties, and the people versus the deep state. So I've seen with the dynasties, the deep state, and the haves have brought to the table. Now the person is on the object of our collective ridicule, hate, and anger. We have been waiting for an opportunity to eat back at Jubilee and Uhuru. This is it. They've been running this nation thinking it's their personal land. Well, it's time to show them who the bosses are. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Kiambaa decides hustler tumeamua. Haya. Miriam Jiguna, huyo wa independent ndio tunataka Kiambaa. Haya. Masikia watu wa Kiambaa pia mfika. How can I reach you, sir? Because the icon for messaging isn't fixed on your page. Kindly go to my personal profile. Just search, go to my personal profile, alafu utaniandikia ujumbe pale, ama kuna nambari hapo utaandikia WhatsApp. Anyway, go to my personal profile, utaweza kuniandikia message. MC Kalia, good morning. Good morning to you, chairman Menakusha Kettle Dip, Jepchirchir kuto, good morning JB, good morning to you Desi Maritim, mheshimiwa wa utawala, karibu sana. Kibet again, good morning from Nairobi. Nels Chaps Murray, umepotea sana. Morning arapu tuletee pia tuoli. Agnes Lima following Embakasi South Pipeline Ward, aliarifu Jubilee. Pipeline Ward, Uhuru aliarifu Jubilee totally. Aliaribu ama ni vipi? Okay. When the favor, the show is good. What I know is as long as Muradhi and Atwoli are silent, Kiambaa inaenda na Jubilee. Inaenda na Jubilee. Okay. Massive blessings. How can I reach you? Okay, sawa. Nimekuambia enda kwa personal profile tafadhali. Niandike kwenye messenger. Haya, Masaki.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Yes.
Karibu tena.
Asante.
Salimia wananchi. Waambiwe ni nani, nafanya nini na kwa nini.
Kwa majina naitwa Masaki SAMWEL. Mimi mkaji wa Nairobi, mwanabiashara, mwanasiasa. Niko katika safari ya kuwania kiti ya nimejitokeza kuwania kiti ya useneti wa Nairobi. And I know I'm able to take up the position because of the magnitude of the population that we have as a county.
Okay.
There's so much that we expected to do as the leadership, and considering the leadership that has been there has not been able to deliver to the Nairobians, especially the issues of unemployment and more so the young people that have not been well factored. We have had issues of infrastructure, which is slightly doing well considering the Nairobi metropolitan services, but the issues of unemployment becomes the biggest impediment to the growth of Nairobi. Yeah, so I'm coming in as a youth leader who is focused more in terms of empowerment of the people first. Yes, then these other issues can come in through, because when we have good infrastructure and when people don't have money in the pocket, then the growth of economy will grow at a very slow rate. Yeah.
Okay. You've run before? This will be your first time?
This is my second time. I contested as a member of parliament for 2019 by-election in Embakasi South.
2019 by-election?
Yes.
Ile ya kina Wiper? The one that Wiper took on?
Yes. Okay. I wanted to use Jubilee, but you just know how Jubilee is.
How is Jubilee?
Jubilee is, as far as I know, we are just waiting to bury Jubilee. It's already dead. Yeah. Them being, they don't want to give an opportunity to young people. They failed to give me the ticket to run for that contest. I decided to go independent, and I was number 3.
Okay.
So far I'm doing well, and I'm hopeful that when the time comes, when we go to these elections, I will pursue the people that the change is here, and I'm the real change. Yes, for Nairobi.
Okay. All right. Karibu sana Mbugua.
Yes, my brother.
Ndio independent wa Kiambaa.
Yes.
Tuambie mambo ya Kiambaa vipi?
Kiambaa iko sawa kabisa.
Kwanza jiintroduce kwa wananchi wako. Unasikia watu wa Kiambaa washafika
na wanataka independent. I want to say good morning to each and every person who is watching us from wherever they are watching us from. And I'm so happy to be seated here on Abitalk. I've always watched this show, and it has really inspired me. So having taken this position this morning to talk to the youth of this nation and the people of Kiambaa, I don't take that for granted. Nasema asanti sana. Kiamba iko sawa sana. We are the real hustlers because we are not affiliated to any party. We are in the words of William Ruto, wajinga wamepunguka hii nchi. We cannot jump from one party to another party. There is a bigger percentage of the people who want to forge their way forward without godfathers, without political parties, for the sake of this nation and for the sake of the future of this nation, or rather this nation. And that is where we are here. To tell the people of KIAMBAA, let us decide the Kenyan politics from 2021 to 2022 when the big election will be happening, so that we can salvage this. We cannot jump from dynasty to hustlers. That is a narrative that we need to debunk in the course of the next 1 year, so that we can tell people that their politics will affect their economy, and these are the same people. What I'm saying is different monkeys. Same monkeys, different forests. Yeah, because they have been in the same government. Now they are disassociating themselves with, yet they have been a part of that government for 9 years. So it's time we forge our way forward as the people of KIAMBAA and the youth of this nation. Yes.
Okay. Asante sana. Now, jana acha niangalie watu wa YouTube kabla hawajalalamika. Hilary Kipchumba, hello, good morning to you. Anasema niko sokoma sana. Martin Warwe, good morning GB. Martin Warwe tuned in kwa Saradi. Asante sana Martin, good to see you this morning. Cliff First night, good morning Gerald and panelists live from Annex Eldoret. Karibuni sana watu wa YouTube, keep sharing and running the link. Now, even before you move, jana kuna mtu amepiga kofi Macron. Pale France.
Yes.
And mwana kuna mtu anasema ati we need to hire the French guy in Kenya. I mean, I don't know. First of all, we had even before you come back to Kenya, how does that feel for you? Did you cringe when you watched that video?
The question is, what was the inspiration behind slapping the president of France? What drove that guy from to doing that? If we can be able to tell, is he angry maybe from politics, economy, or what is happening? And if we had such a scenario in Kenya, would they slap the president ama ni ngumi angekula? Because the people are really crying foul because of the economy. So we need to get such a person in this country, not necessarily to slap the president, but to speak what needs to be spoken. Someone who can speak the truth. And that's what actually what we are doing here is more the same thing. It's only that it's not going to be physical. Yes.
Lakini ni makofi mnapigana pia.
Ni makofi tuna.
How do you make of that, Sam?
I think it's just a
How did it make you feel watching that video?
Okay, it's not okay, but considering this passion, you know, the position that someone takes up to slapping the president, considering the security, this is someone who feels very frustrated. You feel that maybe the president has really let down the country. So maybe to this country, maybe it not me, maybe one person, maybe so many people, or maybe one slap, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because the people feel frustrated. The economy is collapsing. Yeah, people are dying out of all these coronavirus. There's no money. Yeah, so it's frustration. And at some point, even I think the president has to sit down. Even the president of France has to sit down and ask himself, "And what is all this going? What will someone decide to do that?" It's because of what is happening to the country. Yeah.
All right, so Mbugu, you're saying someone should. Why not you? why are you not ready to start?
First, in Africa, we respect older people than us, and the president is like a father to us. As much as we would be at loggerheads with him because of the economy, we cannot get physical with him, not even with words. By the virtue that he's a father figure, and we respect authority here in Africa, and especially here in Kenya. So that's why we are saying, let's have a dialogue before 2022. Let's see what we can salvage from this nation, because there is a whole year for the Jubilee government. What can they do within that 1 year? Because I don't think all is lost until next year, when the president doesn't have a single day in office. So the question is, what do we do with the president? What do we do with the sitting government between now and 2022? Is there anything to salvage? And I think that's the kind of a dialogue we want to have with the president, instead of being physical with him. Yes.
Okay. Makofi zale za
mabari.
Lakini mbona, you know, you saw the other day there's someone who was running towards the president in Lamu with an ID. The guy was called I think he was even sharing a name with the president, Mongai or something. He was running president with an ID. We saw something happening in Kisumu. We saw something happening in Kasarani. Is it Zimmerman? Zimmerman where someone jumped into the middle of the road. Like Sama mtu alikimbilia kwa barabara on the presidential convoy. I mean, there seems to be already an expression of anger from the people, and you wonder, okay, where is it coming from?
I think the first thing that we'll be able to track ourselves back is, when did the rain start beating us? When all these things started is when the issues of in terms of the currency, the changing of notes. That's when the economy started going down. The things started. There was a lot of changes in terms of the policies on the transaction. That's when the problem came in. Then we had layoffs. So many people were laid off from work. So there are so many people out there who are sleeping hungry. They don't have money. They don't have jobs. They have children who are not going to school. So the people are suffering generally. So people it has come to a point whereby someone is willing even to die. He doesn't want to care. Even if he's going there, he will be arrested. Even others are saying, it is better you go to jail, where I'm sure
you can have free meals.
I can have free meals a day. Yeah, because there's nothing. Yeah. If he's staying out here, he can only afford 1 meal, which is also struggling to get the 1 meal.
Yeah, true.
But at the prison, he can get the 3 meals. So he's able now. Even if you even check the crime rate, it's high now. People breaking into homes, people are stabbing people, people are robbing people. Yeah. So we should be able. The president, I don't know who is advising the president. It should be now focusing on the economy. The issues of infrastructure should be put aside. Focus on the economy, on how to resuscitate the economy, which is not even if you look at the budget today, the budget that is on the table, a lot of money is going to infrastructure and not the direct economy. A lot of money is not going to the vaccine. If you can be able now to raise or give money to the vaccines and people are well vaccinated, then these people are going to go back to work. And when we go back to work, then we are going to revive the economy. But as we speak at the moment, a lot is being done. Money is going to parliament, money is going to the executive, and is not going directly to the economy. That's why I'm so much willing to work with the people who are working towards, if this money can go back to the people, the bottom-up economy, whereby we can be able to revive the people. People can access this money and revive the economy. That's where it's going to move this country forward. But as the moment as we speak, we are all going just to talk about all this all day and night, but nothing is going to happen.
Yes, maybe I can say something, Bitok, if you allow me.
Yeah, please.
This is the question. If these guys have the bottom approach, kind of economy approach, what is stopping them from implementing that between now and 2022? They have been in power since 2013. Why? Is it a new structure? Is it a new idea? No, it's not a new idea. It's what Kibaki was using all along. Why are they waiting for 2022 to come and tell us, you guys, we have been a part of the problem, now we are part of the solution? They have 1 year to 2022. Why can't they work with the sitting president right now and start implementing that? Because I believe the power structure is that no one has a monopoly of brains or a monopoly of ideas. You need to work as a team. And I think the rain started beating us when some people, instead of becoming economical, became political, where they distanced themselves from the government, so that they may look as the saviors of this country in 2022. And that is where we are saying, it is time we forge our way forward as the people of this nation, as the youth of this nation, just from all these political lies. What is stopping them? If they can implement the bottom approach kind of structure for the economy, we can say they are getting somewhere. And maybe perhaps by 2022, we can say, let's pick from where you guys have reached. Otherwise, these are stories. They will continue to be stories, and we are here to debunk those lies and telling people independent is the way to go. Let's get someone in parliament, Uko County Assembly, as a person. What are you going to do for the people? What are you going to deliver for the people? Because I fail to understand how come someone who has been a part of the government, that the problem we have been facing is going to be the solution we need in this country. It is not the political parties they are forming. It is people like this young man standing here, rather seated right here, and me, even you, Bitok, we want you to go and vie yuko kwenyu pia, so that you become the solution. You have hosted so many politicians here, and you know what ails this country. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, just to respond to what my brother is saying.
You have a line of defense.
Yeah. And one thing you should understand, I contested. I understand your position. I contested as an independent candidate, like I said before, and I was number 3. But I faced a lot of resistance from the ground because our politics is so local.
Yeah, true.
People tend to
they're not issue based.
Yes,
they're just political animals.
Yes, they also tend to align themselves with party affiliations. So it becomes very resistant. You can really try, you can really push, but the people tend to work towards what are you aligned to, which political party are you aligned to. That is our politics. I wish it was somewhere maybe abroad, things would be different. But now our politics is very local. And when you talk about the issues of the bottom-up economy, these are issues that are well articulated even in the party manifestos of the UDA, that we want the money to go down. When the rent started betting, when you say that we have been there in the government, you should know that we had an agenda. We had the Big Four agenda. We moved from the Big Four agenda and we concentrated ourselves into the BBI. Which was not the part of the platform or the platform of the things that were well articulated when we were forming the government. So we moved out of the said manifesto of the party and we went into some kind of alignments of the BBI where people are running up and down in terms of the executive political positions, all those things. We failed to achieve that. But if we will be focusing on the Big Four agenda, we will be able to achieve this, what we're talking about, the bottom-up economy. Because we're talking about the infrastructure, we are talking about housing, we are talking about empowerment. Or if these people are well employed, then we are going to resuscitate the economy. But when you talk about the BBI,
but you just said infrastructure is not everything. I mean, you just bash the infrastructure that Uhuru is doing. What infrastructure
I'm talking in terms of employment. Okay. Yes, in terms of even if you're talking, let me bring you.
But how can you grow the economy without? How do you grow
proper
the
infrastructure of transport? Yeah.
Where do you separate the two?
We are saying in terms of balance. We don't have balance. Yeah. If you can be able to have balance, then you can be able to grow. But if you're putting like a lot of money into infrastructure and less money into empowerment, like Uwezo Fund, Youth Fund, Biashara Fund, then how are we going to resuscitate the economy? So that's what I'm saying. Let's have balance. Okay. And if today, even if you look at what is being proposed from the budget, you find that 50% of the budget is going to debt, offsetting the debt.
Yes.
The other 50 is in terms of balancing of the infrastructure and the issues of salaries and all those things. So we have really big challenge when you talk about the issues of empowerment, and that's why I'm saying UDA is in a better chance in this platform to resuscitate the economy.
I think UDA is a whole topic we can discuss the whole day here. Yes. Because I fail to understand people who have been a part of the government, who have been a part of the problem, are going to be a part of the solution. I fail to understand that completely. And I think where the rain started beating these countries when there was a party that...
but is there a new politician? MBUGUA, I mean, let's also be honest. I mean, all these guys, you're recycling them.
No.
There's no new politician.
Who does that? It is us. It is us who are going to vote for them. There is this guy who was running as an independent candidate.
New. He also ran in 2017.
These are the fresh ideas we need to see, because at the end of the
Bible
day,
says there's nothing new.
There is nothing new under the sun. In fact, there has been a famous saying that a nation is as good as its leaders. But now we need to look at it from this angle. A nation is as good as its voters. Yes. Because if we fail to learn from history how we have been doing things, because elections in Kenya are used to punish someone politically or even reward them. Okay. Like I will give you a case in point, my brothers. In Mount Kenya, we were not voting for Uhuru in 2013. We were uniting against Raila so that he doesn't become the president. Come a bit closer home in 2017 in KIAMBAA. Rather in Kiambu, we were not voting out Kabogo. We were not voting in Waitito. We were voting out Kabogo. Okay. Because of the propaganda that had really done well.
So saindi mnajua ilikuwa propaganda. Amukujua siku hiyo.
I've always been a Kabogo supporter, my brother. Okay. I've always pushed his agendas because I was telling people, if we elect Waitito, then it means all of us have a Waitito brain. If you look at the people of KIAMBAA, we were Waititos.
Sasa mumeruka tena kwa sasa kwa moto.
No, see what is happening because of punishing Kabogo. The same thing we want to do with Uhuru. It's the same casing scenario that will happen in this country. Okay. And that is we are saying we cannot continue going around Mount Sinai yet we are going to Canaan. It's time someone says, hey, we have been through this place. It's time now we take a different route. And that's why we are saying we need a new, fresh ideas, new people in the party politics so that we can salvage this country. And my biggest question is, what can we do with the sitting government in the next 1 year? Can the youth begin to feel circulation of money in the next 1 year? Because we have the right transport infrastructure. What is lacking right now is circulation of money. So how do we work with the sitting government to ensure that there is circulation of money? There are things we can do to make sure that there is circulation of money in the economy. Okay. Because one of the biggest mistakes...
So what are those things you will do? What are those things you think should be done?
One of the
because you're bashing his proposal without giving an alternative proposal.
This is that was my next point. Right. One of the things we need to do as a nation to make sure that we encourage circulation of money. Let the government reduce taxes on all assets. Asset means anything that you're buying for income generation, okay? So let's say like bodabodas, they are too expensive right now. They are going for 100 to 120,000. Yet bodabodas have been the biggest employer in this country. Let's give them a tax cut of about 20 or 30,000. Zikue cheaper, so that we encourage the small money people have to spend, so that they begin to spend that money. We begin to feel circulation of money. Also, we want to encourage the government to start venturing into agribusiness. Let the young people look at agriculture as agribusiness. Give tax incentives. Encourage these people to get into farming, so that we begin to feel the circulation of the money in the economy. That is why we are saying this bottom up is not. It is common sense. They should be doing that right now. Because we need to create a circulation of money by encouraging people to spend the little they have, and they will not encourage. They will not spend by buying luxury items right now. They will buy stuff that will generate income for them. Yes, those are some of the small things we can do. Otherwise, there are so many things we can do in the next 1 year.
You have a rejoinder?
I'm listening. The sitting government.
I'm really listening to my brother, and I'm really confused. Whatever he's saying is part and parcel of what we are doing in Hustlers Nation.
Okay. Does it have to wait for 2022? Yes.
No. You see, we are trying to implement like what we have been doing so far. We are trying to engage the people in terms of what the civic education we are giving them, that the bottom-up economy is that we take part of the money, like the way the bursary is being given. This money can be able to be accessed by Mama Mboga. It can be accessed by boda. They get this money like bursary. They use this money, finance their businesses, revert this money to the economy. What is happening today is totally different. A lot of money is being circulated at the top and not at the bottom. That's why we are having a lot of difficulty in terms of resuscitating the economy. But if you can be able to focus it on the lower side, on the Mama Mboga, on the mutu wa kinyozi, mutu wa boda, the casual laborers, we can be able to help this economy grow that.
Do that now. Do that now. You have 1 year to do that. Stop going political
let
and
me
go
tell you
economical.
Let me tell you, my brother. You understand what is happening in the government today. Yeah. We have been sidelined. Let me tell you basically.
No one has sidelined you. You sidelined yourself. You should have gone economical with the president, but you went political. You started talking about 2022 immediately after 2017. And in the words of the president, he kept saying, please guys, slow down on politics, help me deliver. And so we left the whole economy on the president's shoulders to run. Instead of helping him, he said that not once, not twice.
But as the president not being participating in politics.
You see, when the president found himself alone,
it's an oxymoron.
You see, when the president found himself alone, he had to look for allies and friends. Politics and power can be so lonely. It can be so lonely up there.
So in
fact, I believe the reason we are having a BBI conversation is because of one William Samoei Ruto. If he stuck with the president and helped the president, then the president would not have created space and vacant for people like Muratha, people like Atwoli, and people like Raila.
So Atwoli is building the country now. Now that
that is the most unfortunate part. He got the wrong company. When he was looking for company, he got wrong friends.
Okay. The level of substandard that is in this country is too high. Today they are talking about let's not have political rallies. Tomorrow you're seeing people in State House. All these political leaders, they're coming to be the president. What they're talking about how they're going to pass the BBI. So let me tell you, if you're going to focus in terms of the economy, let's do that.
Let's do it as a whole team for the next 1 year.
Let's not sideline other people, and the other people are also doing politics. Yes, let's have a fair playing ground for everyone.
And it has been the case, my brother.
That has not been the case.
No, we are in this country. We have been seeing political rallies for older people. They have been gathering in millions.
But when they said let me tell you, when they said we stop political gathering, we stopped. UDA stopped.
No.
Until these guys came back and they started saying that now we are moving BBI. We are moving BBI.
Who has the monopoly of political gatherings? Why is it so difficult for the president to live by his word? Because as you're saying, let's be fair. MBUGUA.
Yes.
The other day, all the meetings that UDA has done, all of them has been disenfranchised by the police.
Yes.
All of them.
No, not necessarily, my brother.
They disenfranchised the one in they did Mombasa, they did the other one in Meru. Yes. I mean, all these meetings have been, and still I've never had a meeting of BBI that has been disenfranchised by the security officers. Do you feel, even as we speak, because we need to have an honest nation, because otherwise we'll keep inheriting hatred. Today I'm hating you.
Yes.
Tomorrow let's hate a different person.
Yes.
Because that time maybe they have a different perception of politics of the day. Politics is very dynamic.
Yeah,
it changes every time.
Every time.
So let's form a standard. I mean, as you try to defend the president, do you feel the president has set a standard as a president that I would feel as a fellow Kenyan that I'm being treated the same way you are being treated or Masaki is being treated without feeling like there's a bias in the way I'm being treated for doing the same thing that you are doing?
The reason I'm doing that is that I want us to create a level playing ground for all people.
Which I think the president has not done.
Let us not say this entirely on the president. This is entirely on UDA. We are saying, when I'm talking on behalf of the president, I am just playing the devil's advocate, because it takes two to tango.
But you've chosen one devil. Why don't you choose both devils?
No, you see, even Ruto has his beauties, which I'm about to speak. Ruto has also played a big part in making sure a person like me from Mount Kenya would ever have gotten at any given time with Uhuru's presidency. It cuts across the board. All of them are playing a part. That's why we are saying, let it not be from one side to the other side. Let us critically think as Kenyans, is this the way forward for us, or do we need to take a break first and think what is good for us as a people? And I keep asking the voters, what are your interests as a voter? Is it to punish someone or to reward someone with a political seat? At what point does your interest come first? Love yourself, begin to put your interest first. The same way, learn from your politicians. They put their interest first and nothing comes between them and their interest. And the interest of a voter is having accessible, affordable medical care, having affordable food like right now, and it's in your vote. And that's what we are saying. Now begin to think about the person you're voting for, because there lies your salvation or your condemnation, because we are suffering because of our votes. In fact, I was talking to a group of the youth yesterday and I was telling them, remove your voter's card. Look at it. Tell it, I am so grateful for where you've gotten me this far. If you're happy with it, just say thank you, voters card. If you're not happy, think about it, how you're going to vote next time.
Your last comments on the same, so that we can.
I'm listening and also reading what people are saying, and people are saying Mheshimiwa here is like Jubilee Team B.
No, I would have vied with a Jubilee ticket. I have not vied with Jubilee because I believe Jubilee has failed, especially in terms of economy, microeconomics. They have not managed the microeconomics of this country very well. Microeconomics, I mean, ile economy ya maskini. They have been doing big projects that are not even helping us. All this money being done with the big projects is going to China. If we had those big projects being done by the Chinese, that money trickling down to the people, we would not be feeling the hit of the economy. But we all know the Chinese come with their wheelbarrows, they come with their nails, with their tumas. They don't buy from our local factories, they don't buy from our local people. And so I still have that against Jubilee. I am not for Jubilee, I am not for UDA. I am an independent thinker.
But whatever you're saying is most likely aligned to the Jubilee, because you're supporting the president. You're saying the
That is
president
why
has
I'm
been
saying
there.
he is still
The president has failed this country.
He still has 1 year.
Even the courts were very clear on that in terms of what is being proposed in the BBI. The BBI first is just an institution that has been brought up in another way, well circulated, but it's not even in well calculated to be part and parcel of this thing. That's why they said it is. The president violated the code, the constitution.
I'm in total
He
agreement.
violated the constitution.
Let's talk about the
And he
economy.
should be able-
Let's talk about
he
what
should
matters.
be able even to refund that money that was used in BBI. The criteria they used the BBI came through. We don't understand.
All right.
Yes.
Songe, let's move on. First of all, I want to give you an opportunity.
Yes.
So that I'm saying you're being accused of being Jubilee B. And you decide to the record straight, and you to speak also to KIAMBAAans.
Yes.
Tell them what you want to do for them.
Yes.
And how it's going to be different from all the other things that you the other people.
It's common sense that no one is going to achieve heaven right now with the remaining 1 year, but we can lay foundations for the next 5 years in the next 1 year. We do not have to go political full swing. We can think about our interest as the people of KIAMBAA. KIAMBAA has different sources of income. We need to revive what is already dead in KIAMBAA. I don't even think whoever becomes the next member of parliament will have access to CDF. That is that's a question to ponder about whether we are going to get that money. But until we stop looking at CDF and the money we get from the government as the only resource at our disposal as leaders, and begin to look at people as the biggest resource at our disposal, then there is so much we can begin to achieve as the people of KIAMBAA, the youth of this nation, and the people of this country. So one of the things I promised the people of Kenya through being a member of parliament, I'm going to legislate a bill in parliament that takes care of the poor people with this hospital madness. Bitok last year, I lost a child. He was only 3 months. And the reason he passed on, because it was an emergency case. It happened at around 3 at night. When I went to the hospital, which I went, they asked for 700,000 as deposit, cash. They didn't want any other collateral for that. They just wanted cash. And that is how my baby passed on. And I am saying, one of the things I'm going to do, we're going to legislate a bill in parliament that if any hospital whatsoever, whether it's public or it's private, if it fails to admit someone on an emergency case, and science and legally it's proven that this person died as a result of not being admitted by this hospital on an emergency case, then that hospital will have to pay the government 5 million, and if it's a child that was lost, they will have to pay the parent 5 million, and if it's a parent that was lost, the government will have to take care of those children until they become 18 years. And those are some of the things we want to do. We want to look at the youth of this nation as the biggest resource at our disposal. There is no way we can talk of fixing the economy of this country if you're not going to have a women and youth economy conversation, because they make the majority of the population. But it's such a sad affair today that being the biggest population, it's like 10 or 15% of those guys have a stable job that they say, if in case of anything, I am able to get a loan of 30,000, 50,000 from this stable income. Most of them are wasting their productive years doing nothing. And so we are going to look at the youth, the women of this nation as the biggest resource at our disposal.
Okay. All right. What set you apart from everyone else? What set you apart from what is that called? Jubilee.
I'm independent. An independent.
Jamaa Jubilee anaitwa aje?
Anaitwa Njama.
Njama?
Yes.
What set you apart from Njama and MBUGUA? You are the MBUGUA. Mwingine anaitwa MBUGUA pia?
Hapana, anaitwa Jogona.
Jogona.
Yes.
Jogona.
What sets me apart is that I'm an independent thinker. I do not have a godfather, because godfathers are not the biggest resource in this country. The people are the biggest resource in this country. And I wish they can begin to look at us like that so that we can be able to help them. And I'm telling the people of KIAMBAA, let's make history together so that at least we get some form of of respect from these people. And if we get this right as the people of KIAMBAA, perhaps we can even shape the future politics of this country come 2022, where we will not have political madness and euphoria that sweep the people out of their common sense after every 5 years. And so we have a good chance right now to forge our way forward as the people of KIAMBAA, the youth of this nation, and the people of this country, because we must learn to put our interest first before we begin before we start thinking of punishing people out of power and rewarding others in power. And so that is what sets me aside.
Okay.
Yes. And I understand economy. Yes.
Unaelewa uchumi kabisa.
And naelewa uchumi. Until we talk about microeconomics of the people down there and the youth and the people who have the potential in numbers and in power, brain power and mental power, until we begin engaging them how to create a great economy, we will never create a great economy even in 100 years if they continue wasting their productive years.
All right. Masaki, you're also running for Senate Nairobi.
Yes.
What inspires you? What gives you the mojo?
Number one, being a young person and being in a platform whereby I've also served in different in the political parties, because I served as a youth leader in the Jubilee before it was said that it's done with Jubilee. Nairobi needs a lot of someone who is very pragmatic, someone who has a vision, and someone who is willing to move forward in terms of the agenda of the people. What is happening today in Nairobi is let's say, not well planned in terms of the economy of the people. We're having good roads, yes, but if you go into the informal settlement, you'll find a lot of people are suffering. And if we can be able now to empower these people, especially giving them into incentives, they can be able to at least improve their livelihood. Then we can be able now to improve the status of Nairobi. Because if you go into the city today, you'll find so many hawkers, so many people are living on the streets. There's no money. People are struggling left, right, and center, even to pay school fees. You see kids are going back home for school fees. You're wondering what are parents going to use to pay these school fees. So in terms of moving forward, the agenda of Nairobi is, number one is empowerment. That is one thing I want to focus on, that empowerment of the people. If we can be able to empower people, then the rest of the thing can be able to move forward. We can be able to improve even on the capacity of the economy as Nairobi. Number two, we talk about the issues of insecurity. How can we be able to to handle that? Is when we bring these policies whereby the wananchi are being included in part and parcel of the security measures within the people, within the structures of the security teams. That can be able to lower the rate of crimes in Nairobi. But as we speak today, the rate of crime is very high. People are scared. People are breaking homes. Even like yesterday, I had someone, robbers robbed in. They went into Bodega. They jumped the fence. They took 20 million. Took 20 million. So these are worrying issues, worrying trends in Nairobi. So we need to focus on how we can be able to curb insecurity. And one of the biggest issues is empowerment. If people are empowered, then we reduce the level of insecurity. But as we speak today, we only have good roads. We have good street lights. We have all those things. But the issues of economy is what I want to focus on.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's talk about party politics. Our party is dying. Because when Jubilee came in, it came with a vision. I mean, it came with all these promises, big promises of being a party that's going to be here for 100 years or these other years. Short of 10 years, Jubilee is already collapsing. And Moses Kuri yesterday was saying, Jubilee kufia Juja, mazishi ni Kiamba. I don't know how true that is. But I mean, there seems to be a serious lapse in shelf life of political parties. You look at ruling parties. Look at KANU. KANU today is a former shell of itself. Look at PNU. PNU, I don't know, iligeuza kwa mbaya ama ilikuwa nini ikazungusha huko na sijui kiraitu ama ilikuwa nani. Look at NAC. NAC is, nobody even talks about it. These are parties which have been in power before. Looking at Jubilee now, Jubilee is here with us. With all the promises that it gave us, with all the hopes that we knew that this party is going to run for the longest time, today we don't have Jubilee. It seems to be dying. And first, even before you go to the case of Jubilee and analyze and do a postmortem on Jubilee, even before it dies, What's happening with parties? Do you think an era of party politics is dying off?
Yes. This is what happens every time there is a great awakening from the people. People are awoke as we speak. And those are the effects of the great awakening that is happening, that political parties are a mirage, that is a big lie. Not necessarily a big lie, but they come in with big dreams. They come with great promises. And so I think it's time we start looking at people with what they can achieve, what they have achieved. And moving forward, let's stop even judging people from a point of hustlers or dynasties. Let's judge someone by the content of their character. What have you achieved all the years you have been in government? Yes, and that is what is happening as we speak right now. And we are relying on the bigger number of the awoke people to get us into power as independent candidate, because I believe they are the majority. Wajinga wamepunguka hii nchi. And because wajinga wamepunguka, then we can see ourselves fixing this country as independent candidates from all over this country. And having said that, we can work with like-minded leaders in this country come 2022 if we get this one right in
So you feel parties are dying?
Yes, they are dying.
Okay, now let's look at the same way. Now we are changing. The parties are dying, but the politicians are still the same who moved from parties. So, I mean, where is the transition of politics and performance between now getting from parties to the same monkey in a suit now running independent? Does it change administration?
No, it hasn't changed, because it's with the people who cast the vote. Who are we voting for? And unless we ask ourselves those questions as the people of this nation, why am I voting for this person? What has inspired my decision to vote for this person? Is it because of party politics euphoria? Is it because of how we have been doing things in this country to punish people and to reward people politically? Until we, the voters, begin to know that my vote is my life and take your vote very serious, then we can say that change is truly happening. And I want to believe those are the majority of the people, because Jubilee has taught us that, Kibaki has taught us that, because in the recent history there is no political power, or rather there is no political party that has made a president twice. There is always a new formation every time there is after every 5 years. It's only KANU that Mzee Moi used to get into power through KANU, and that is the last.
Used to get into power, he stayed in the power.
He stayed.
He was never out.
Whatever he did to stay in power,
he was never
KANU
out.
is the only party that made him president for a few years. But any other sitting president has not been a president with the same party. And so I also believe that Jubilee, where Jubilee is today, is because of a plan. It's not by default. It's by design. They want to kill that party. They want to kill it. So
who is killing it?
The people who,
Anyway,
the people who created it.
Jubilee. Kwanza tuongele. Do you think party politics is getting off the political landscape?
From where I stand, I think we are far from there. Because there's a lot of that's why I said, like before, our politics is very local, and people tend to align themselves towards political affiliations when it comes to elections. So it might take some time for us even to have an independent president. It's going to take us a little bit time, because our people out there live Nairobi. Nairobi people are more modernized and they understand. They are
more woke. They
are more woke. Like if you go to grassroots, you go to Wasingishu, you go to KIAMBAA, you go to Coast, people tend to affiliate themselves within the parties.
They have no expectations with power.
So and the same parties, that's why we're having new political formations. They are well calculated. Some of them they're dying naturally. Some of them we are having new formations. In a case of Jubilee, you see the people advising with the party.
Before you even get to Jubilee,
yes.
Do you think it's the party politics or politics of parties is there? You're not getting there.
It is there. The party politics is still there.
Haitaenda mahali.
Haitaenda mahali.
Ni vyama tu zinabadilishwa.
Ni vyama zinabadilishwa because people are moving from if today our brother today doesn't
but do you feel our parties are really, do you think our party politics are guided by ideology? Do you think our parties, when you go to the US, it's clear, the leftists and the rightists, it's very clear what they stand for.
Yes.
Do you think in Kenya the same applies in parties, or is just for the sake of creating political euphoria?
It is not. To be clear on that is that people are just, it's interest. People are following on their own interest, and it's not the ideology that stands guiding those political parties. Okay. People are sponsoring them because of their own ambitions. It's not. That's why if today someone does not,
they are able to lie to Kenyans.
Not really that.
Yeah.
Not really
I
that.
will
Not
tell
really
you why
it's just interest.
I will tell you.
It is just interest. And that's why even if today you're vying for your own interest. If today we're having a presidential candidate in UDA is running for their own interest as well. So
the question is,
it is not really the ideology. It is not really the ideology. But we are trying to move from that bracket. That's why we are saying if today UDA stands up, we want to say that the biggest platform should be that the people at the bottom. How can we improve on the wheelbarrow movement? People can be able to benefit from that, so that we are not looking at the politicians themselves. That this one is getting to power, we will do this and this. No, we want to focus first the people, the Mama Mboga. If Mama Mboga can be well empowered, then the people at the top can sort themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Jubilee.
Yes.
Who is killing Jubilee? Do you think it's a coincidence ama kuna mtu ananyonga Jubilee pole pole?
The only person who has the power to kill is the person who created. So the people who created Jubilee are the people who are deliberately killing it. Yes, because of the new alliances and the formation, because they do not want to get to 2022 with Jubilee, which has really played a big part with the downfall of this economy. So with new formations, they think that Kenyans will feel a freshness of new ideas, a freshness of a new breath with having celebrated the death of Jubilee, but not the death of the people who are accountable of this nation, political and economical crisis that we have found ourselves in. And so we must beg the question as the people of this nation, how do we get rid of these monkeys? Because they are the same monkeys but different forests. It is having freshness of ideas. My slogan is simple as I vie. Be the change you want to see. If you're tired of complaining, wake up, go vie, and do that what needs to be done in this country. Because we cannot continue doing the same things the same way and expect different results. It's time we ourselves, as the people, become the change we want to see.
So for Jubilee, you said it's the president who's killing Jubilee.
It is the people who created Jubilee. Even William Ruto is playing a big part in killing it. Yes.
Jubilee, kifo cha Jubilee ni natural ama
it is dying by default. It's just dying by default. Considering the people who are running the party, you see the problem with Jubilee today, it is a dictatorship with the party. They want to decide everything. Like the way I was running.
I'm in agreement.
Yes, they want to dictate everything. They don't want people to run in this constituency. They want this one to run. There's no party primaries. They just direct nominations. So let me tell you, people are tired with that. People want democracy. If there's no democracy in this party, number one, this party are going to fail. That's why today we are saying there has to be a consensus. Let's bring all candidates on the table. Let them agree. If they don't agree, let them go and meet in the ballot nominations. If one picks, then they're going to support the other. But the way the Jubilee is running today, they are going to pick people from the street, give them a party and say, now this one is the best suited to run for this candidate, for this position. That's why we have a reason. If you go in all these recent by-elections, that's why they are failing. Those are protest votes. People are tired of being just mounting people on the ground and saying, now vote for this person.
Maybe that's the plan, my brother.
No, it's not the plan. That's not the plan. I want to tell you very clear.
I don't think these people are stupid enough to know that.
The people who are running the party today, the people who sleep in the clubs, wake up in the morning, go to the party and they decide now.
I think that's an issue. That's neither here nor there.
Yes.
Because maybe you take a drink or two and you're a good leader. So you can't say...
But you don't
know.
I'm just trying. He's saying they sleep there. So you cannot take a drink or two and sleep. So it means it's more than two.
Maybe that is the plan. They know people are going to revolt. I don't truly believe that these people are stupid as we want to think they are stupid. They could be doing that by plan. Because every time you begin to exercise dictatorship, what do you expect from the people? This is a democracy. This is a nation that blood was shed for to enjoy the kind of freedom we're enjoying. So anything that looks or smells like dictatorship, people are going to revolt. And maybe that is the plan of killing Jubilee by engineering a revolt.
I saw Iguru was also ranting. She did a letter on Jubilee saying unless we change the strategy, Jubilee.
It was a very good letter.
I saw this guy of Gakuyo. What is his name? Huyo mashamba.
Huyo mashamba. Gakuyo.
Yeah. Gakuyo also saying tafadhali kujeni ni kubaya huko. Anasema kama tutakaa vile tutafanywa vivyo hivyo.
They are playing with
so you wonder when you look at Jubilee, but then you wonder, I mean, there could be a better strategy. I mean, all these things that are happening in the political landscape is a message to Jubilee Party. It is something you're not doing right. Yeah. And these guys don't seem to be in a hurry to fix that. Every time you see Tuju coming in is to reprimand people, not to bring in a strategy that is going. And you wonder, then there's a president also sitting. This is his party. And even he's negotiating coalitions with the party that is dying. So you wonder, okay, is it that also the president wants it dead? Or, I mean, what's the end game? Because when you look at UDA, a small party that has been formed the other day, it's bringing problems for Jubilee. And the people giving problems to Jubilee are people who are in Jubilee out here.
Even the people in UDA are people in Jubilee.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Like, yeah. Do we really want to think that these people are stupid enough to bring a presidential candidate in 2022 and a Jubilee ticket? They will not. First, they have to engineer the death of this Jubilee so that they can refresh the mind of people with new formations that people will think, this is a new idea, this is a great idea. So I want to believe they want to make sure that Jubilee Party is dead so that they can refresh the people of... Because I don't believe those guys are seated somewhere not planning for 2022. You know, UDA seems to be the only party in Kenya as we speak right now that is focused and have their eyes on 2022. There is no any other party. Don't tell me these guys are thinking of a presidential candidate with a dying party. No, that is not happening. They are somewhere seated thinking of a new party, new formations with Jubilee dead and long forgotten. Because all the problem we have had in this country for the last 10 years, they have been in the same party. They have been in the same party called Jubilee. Now they have defaulted. Now they are creating another one called UDA, another one by another name, but the same people. And we can gauge our politics by the economy that these political parties have created for Kenyans. If they have created a bad economy, these are the wrong people to be in power. And I wish, when my brother here says that politics are local, he means that local people have refused to learn. That local people have refused to awake.
Local man.
The local man has refused to awake. We can't wait to punish Uhuru by electing UDA. Let us not go that way. Let us think of an independent president, an independent governor. Let's have new people. When that power is at our disposal, we have the power to do that. The question is, at what point do we are the people to decide when that is going to be? It can be the next year. It can be 10 years. It can be 100 years from now. We can go around through Mount Sinai for as long as we want, but the day we wake up is the day we change this country. And so we are telling these young people and the youth and the people of KIAMBAA, go and be the change you want to see. Independently vote. Okay. Yes.
Now going with that conspiracy, Masaki, because I think this guy is also becoming a conspiracy theorist.
What do you mean? At the end of the day,
what you're saying, it is what you're saying about, okay, now we have people who are in one party. Now suddenly, the people who are useful are all out, and we have some other people who think they're useful. I'm not saying they're useless, who think they're useful remaining. And apparently, a few months down the line, it shows that they're not very useful in the party, and the party is collapsing. And going with that conspiracy theory, that maybe the president is determined to kill Jubilee and bring in a fresher look for people that were in his own party. I mean, I tend to think then there's a fool in all this game. And the only fool can be the handshake partners. Because now, look at it. This party that you're forming a coalition with is being killed. Not even slowly, very quickly.
I like that.
And now the people in the party, this party is being killed, have already moved from the house and they have very beautiful home that they are busy painting. And they're telling you, sisi tulihama huko, nyumba iko. But they're the same guys who are in that party. Could you think then that even the whole scheme of handshake is a political scheme? That as you are busy talking about the handshake and these things, there's a refresher that's going on the other side. And you're going to face the same people that you faced in the last election, and they're now bigger and rebranded. With little baggage. Because clearly, these guys are distancing themselves. Even you're saying we have been sidelined. So these guys are distancing themselves from the failure of the government, and everyone is saying now, watu wa handshake tafadhali, mnaharibu serikali. I mean, okay, let's be conspiracy theorists for a moment, because this guy has taken us there.
Let's be truthful.
Do you think there's a fool in the whole game?
I think the whole thing, if you can, where the problem comes in is when we started moving away from Jubilee as UDA is when the party decided now to run on its own in terms of the dictatorship. They decided to fire the deputy SG. They decided to all disciplinary
But don't you think that's strategic? Because looking at it now, in a conspiracy perspective, it feels strategic. It feels more strategic. Because, I mean, how do you explain this?
Things don't go wrong. Things are made
someone
to go
like,
wrong.
Someone like, what's the guy of this Kipipiri?
Kimunya.
Kimunya comes out and tells us, no guys, there's no problem. If UDA won, UDA is part of Jubilee. I mean, Masaki.
I don't want to speak on something that is not clear because that's where you are heading. Let me tell you something. We don't want to associate. Let the failures of Jubilee carry on its own. We don't want to be associated with those failures. Number one. That is number one. Let's not be associated with that because that's where people are heading. They're saying, UDA is part of Jubilee. We are not part of Jubilee. UDA is on its own. Okay?
That's why not all of them are members of parliament on a Jubilee ticket. They have not resigned.
No. You cannot. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Okay? And that's why we are differing. That's why we are differing in terms of the ideologies. If today Parliament wants to pass something, they also have to be away. The UDA is speaking on its own. Jubilee is speaking on its own. We are not one thing. That one's for a fact.
If they are truly for the people, they would have resigned.
Okay? So the best position we can say is that it's time to tell us.
Okay.
But for me, I know there is post-Jubilee after 2022. They have a plan on their own. They are not going to be associated. And we also don't want to invite them to UDA. Let them carry their own cross. UDA, we carry our own cross and our own presidential candidate.
Kitupatane Kalvari.
Wacha tukutane mbele. Okay?
Before we move from there, Gerald, let me pose this question. These guys are distancing themselves from Jubilee Party. Yet UDA is not created by a Jubilee person. It is created by Mudhama, who was not even in government. You see, that's the conspiracy theory here. Mudhama, who was not in government, created UDA for the people in government. I think that's where the conspiracy theory is.
So kwa hii mambo ya nchi kunafikiria, because now KANU is saying now we are affiliates of Jubilee and Jubilee is dying. These parties are signing ANC is signing up partnership agreements. Wiper is signing with a party that is dying, and the president doesn't seem to care. What's the fate of the handshake then?
I think come 2022, I know there's going to be something, and the president is slowly trying to align himself together with the handshake brother in terms of going forward.
But he's going where? He's retiring.
I don't think this guy is retiring, considering the fact that he's moving around and trying.
The Constitution says
I think he would
be
to
retire.
That guy is going to retire, yes, but he's going to control in terms of what is going
I'm
to
thinking,
come after
Masaki, is
that.
if that was the case, then the president would really be actively involved in Jubilee politics. It would be ensuring that the party, because it's a negotiation tool. Politics in Kenya is negotiated through parties.
True.
I mean, so if that was the case, and the president actually wants to negotiate a post 2022 agreement with parties, then you would be more concerned about the health of Jubilee Party. It doesn't seem to be. So, I mean, then how is he going to negotiate? He cannot be a member of ODM and negotiate inside ODM. So, and the conspiracy is the whole thing. Why is the president so comfortable with Jubilee Party falling apart?
The president is a very good student of history. He knows in 2022, Jubilee cannot bring up a presidential candidate, even an MCA. And so he knows for us to be able to do that, he needs to do things differently. Because what is the president doing, playing politics right now, yet he's supposed to retire? Because he's after something. There's something he wants to achieve for this nation. And who knows what he wants to achieve.
So do you think he's part of the UDA conspiracy?
Who knows? He could be a part of UDA.
That is not the case.
He could even be the guy calling the shots in UDA. It's possible. In this country, everything is possible, my brother. The other day you saw
the possibility in that is
you
not
saw
even there.
Juja.
By the time the show is ending, I think you would have denied the president 17 times.
In this country, everything is possible, my brother. Whatever decision you're making, make with this in mind, that everything is possible in this country. So that you're not caught off guard.
From where I stand, because I've been actively involved in UDA in recent times, the president is not part and parcel of what is happening in UDA.
All right.
He's just trying to carry his own Jubilee, trying to find a way in where he's going to bury it, and possibly maybe going to bury the handshake.
He's looking for a cemetery.
Yes, he's looking for a cemetery going forward. Yes, that's why there is all these realignments trying to find out. That's why these people are heckling everywhere. We are going to fight in the KIAMBAA and make sure at least we deliver the Jubilee.
They will find us there.
And that's what I'm telling you. That's why there's a wake-up call for all the UDA members that we have to so far deliver the UDA ticket in KIAMBAA. So that we told these people that this party is already dead.
The beauty is that you're not dealing with fools in KIAMBAA. Yes. That's the beauty. You are dealing with the more woke people.
Yes.
Tumenyane.
Let's meet in the ballot.
All right, so I was killing the party. Okay, in the next 5 minutes tutafungua bunge tusikie watu wa bunge wanasemaje. Lakini kabla ya hiyo tuangalie barua ya Mutunga. Sijui kama umesoma barua ya Mutunga kwa rais. Have you guys read?
No, I haven't.
Have you read Mutunga's letter to the president?
I think I just part of it in terms of the issues of the constitution and how he's not even willing to follow the rule of law. He's defying court orders. They're not following the many things that the president is defying and violating the constitution. And you see, the constitutional code is very clear in terms on the what the president should be able to do, considering even the recent times, the swearing of the judges and how some of them were not even able to be part and parcel of the gazettement of those judges. So there's a big problem in terms of how the president, and I also want to mention the issue of the Attorney General. He also plays part and parcel in terms of what is happening to the presidency. Maybe he's not advising the president well in what he needs to do, or someone else, or the president is just listening to himself. Because what is happening, even the bodies, recent times, the Meat Commission being part and parcel of the defense, the NMS, the court orders, violation of court orders. So, and this will, after 2022, it can be part and parcel of his legacy. Yeah, if that goes by that, if a new president comes in, the president can really face his tough. You know, he really violated the constitution, and he can be judged for that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, in a nutshell, since you've read it,
in this country.
Okay. In a nutshell, Mutunga was telling the president that Uhuru is exercising power recklessly. Former CJ describes Kenyatta's failure to appoint judges a dangerous dalliance with impunity. But what do you think about the Mutunga's letter to the president? Do you feel all the complaints that are coming up on people saying the president is crossing the lines in terms of how he's running his leadership? Do you feel they're justified?
In the recent past, we have been dealing with people in judiciary and in the executive of who call the shots, who wears the pants in this country. They fight over who wears the pants in this country, and so we as the people are taking lessons. They should not think that we are not taking lessons on how they are doing things, and they are setting a very bad example for the rest of us. But we are saying we are going to fix this country, because having someone like the president defying the rule of the law is a very dangerous place to operate from, because the law is supreme in this country. If it is respected, if it is not respected by the president, then no one can respect the law in this country. Okay. And so the question is, how do we move forward? How do we fix that mess? How do we make sure that the next president is playing the game by the law? That is the question, my brother. We even have a lot of work to do as leaders in terms of civic education, people trying to understand power so that we are not ignorant of the laws in this country, so that we can begin to hold people accountable, whether they're in power or out of power. People need to start paying for the mistakes and the slaughter that has been done on the constitution of this country. The question is, when do we do that, and who will do that?
Okay. All right. You have any agendas on that? Anyway, I've sent you guys the letter. You can take your time and read it so that when you come back, you can try and comment on the same. All right. Tunafungua bunge. You had a rejoinder. Meanwhile, we are putting the click up with your rejoinder.
And you see, the issues that are being raised, especially with the former CJ, those are very prominent issues that need to be addressed even with the judiciary. And you see, if GAC submit names to the president. It's upon the president to just appoint them, swear them in. But the issues that we have had is the president has been had these issues of judges, the issues of court orders. These have been issues that have been there from way back, and the president is accountable for all this. You cannot say there are people within the government who are trying to do all these things. He's the leader of the country. He stands to guide all the executive, all the members of the cabinet members on how to follow these things. So we're just waiting to see the unfolding of the new CJ, if he's going to be the trailblazer or going to be the puppet of the system. So if he's going to be the trailblazer, then he should be able to face the president and tell them this is wrong, this is right. The way Maraga was doing. Yes, he has to face the president and tell them this is wrong, this is right.
Okay. Bunga la Mwenyenchi, jambo.
Jambo sana, Gerard.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. This is Martin Warui from Kasarani.
Martin Warui, Kasarani, jambo.
Ya, salama sana.
Say
hi to Masaki and MBUGUA.
Thank you.
I think I want to start with the issue of political parties, because I think that has really taken a huge part of your morning today. I want to say that what is happening, we are not likely to see the end of political parties in this country, because, it's the issue, their space in the constitution is very well taken care of. It's properly anchored. We even, fund political parties through the taxpayers. But I think what is happening, I would want to tie it with what I remember when you had Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua in studio. I asked him this particular question, and I posed a question to him. I asked him, Mheshimiwa, what do you think are going to be the consequences of the mismanagement of the Jubilee Party and the part that has been happening, particularly in the Mount Kenya region? I posed that question, and the response my thinking is that what is happening to Jubilee Party are the unintended consequences of that party and mismanagement. And I think this is one. It was not foreseen by the people who are leading the party and who are, very busy mismanaging that party. They never thought that they could, run the party the way they wanted to run it and still have people in that party. But, the deputy president would always remind them that, what was happening to Jubilee Party, their fate or the fate of the party would be the same as what happened to KANU, whereby you chase people away from a party, and then you end up with a situation whereby you have fewer people in the party and more people outside the party. Today, Jubilee Party, nobody wants to be associated with that party, even the people inside the party. And I don't think there is going to be no amount of rebranding, no amount of is going to bring back the party where it was. Okay. Yeah. The better days of Jubilee are in the past. That is in history now. The future is other parties, the PES, the UDAs. That party is, it's well over itself by date. It's gone kaput now. But more than that, I think people are disapproving the management of political parties. The citizenry, the voters are disapproving how we manage our political parties. The shrinking democratic space in our parties, the dictatorship in our parties. I think that is, people are expressing their disapproval in a very strong manner, and they are taking great exception on that management style. So we need to do better. And also, the other thing that is happening, I think people are demystifying political parties as their only path towards, being elected into office. I think people are embracing, independent candidacy and all those things. Now, coming back to the issue of, the president and the disobedience of court
orders. So do you think there's a future then for independent politics or independent candidates in politics?
I think a few of them can get... Let us be practical and say we could have a fewer or a higher number of people being elected as independent candidates because of the problems that are in political parties. Okay. But also let us not lie to ourselves that if, for instance, you want to be elected president or governor, it's very easy to be elected as an independent candidate. I think we have not gotten there. the organization that is required for you to be elected. I mean, you need a political party. So what we should be focused on is, sanitizing our political parties.
Okay.
Creating a culture of, good management, almost like it's done in the corporate sector, so that we have accountability, we have democracy. We also have, predictability in those political parties and ultimately stability. Because, when we get it right at the party politics level, we are most likely to get it right insofar as the management of the country is concerned.
Okay.
And I think, there is a lot that we need to do to make sure that we get to that level. But now, coming quickly to the letter of CJ Emeritus, Dr. WILLIE Mutunga, that letter, ideally, is what Martha Koome should have written to President Uhuru. The tone, being direct, and I think, of course, I hope that CJ Emeritus Mutunga also, blind copied, CJ Martha Koome, in that letter, because she also needs to have that copy.
Na siange mpea tu na alafu aweke logo ya CJ mpea na signature ya Martha Koome. Ama Martha anaogopa system.
I told you last week, Gerard, I told you this, This appeasement policy that CJ Martha Koome has, embraced, is not going to help. And she is, there is what we call the Frankenstein, notion. We call it the Frankenstein, monster, whereby you think that you create something and then it becomes a monster that you cannot control. That is what is going to happen to Martha Koome. You start, embracing impunity and even helping, create impunity with the hope that people are going to change. They are not going to change, and at the appropriate time, they are going to throw her under the bus, and she will have nowhere to run because she would have lost Kenyans, and then she will have fallen out of favor with the executive. So I think Martha Koome has a lot to ponder about, and she must really think what she needs to do with that office, especially now that she's going to be in that office for 9 years. But to conclude, I have seen Advocate Apollo Mboya has written a letter. I think it's a petition in the court of, and he is raising very fundamental issues. And I think if those issues, the questions that he is asking, if we get the responses to those questions, then we are going to at least get to understand what what happened behind the curtains and the role that CJ Martha Koome played. Because at this point, in as much as that I am mad at President Uhuru, I am even more disappointed with CJ Martha Koome, and I supported her. To conclude, let me say this, I think we could almost predict how Martha Koome was going to handle this issue from the interviews, and the person perhaps who gave the best answer, the kind of approach that I would have liked to see, was Justice Nduma Nderi. The issue of negotiating with people who have a history of defying court orders is not on the table. It cannot be an option on the table. It is not palatable. We must never think that it is there. The response that was given by Justice Nduma Nderi, where you are firm in saying that the court has said you need to do the right thing. The president must do the right thing. I hope that President Uhuru is thinking about his post-retirement period, because, some of these things that he's helping create could come back to bite him very hard. Very hard.
Asante sana Martin. I would love to have you on the show one of these fine days as well. As I think you can be an amazing fan of the week. As we start off our fan of the week sessions, I would wish to have you on the show one of these fine days so we can have these conversations together.
You just tell me how and I will come there. Okay,
sir. Thank you so much. Salimia watu wa Kasarani. Haya, hiyo ni bunga la mwananchi. Bunga la mwananchi nambari 0779-800-010 au 779-800-010. Bunga la mwananchi 0779-800-010. Nambari iko pale 0779-800-010. Ni maoni ya Martin Warui. Jambo, bunga la mwananchi.
Hello, Gerard.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Meshach.
Hey, Odede. You are just recovering from Madaraka bwana.
I'm back.
Jambo lakini.
Jambo, salimia kina Masaki. I'm listening to you guys.
Yeah.
And I have a conclusion. I know it's an answer that none of you would like.
Yes.
But it is still an answer.
You don't care whether we like it or not. It's still an answer.
Yeah, it is still you an answer. I have heard guys saying how Jubilee is dead and no one wants to associate.
Yes.
And the Jew who is looking for a burial site and all that.
Yeah, and some of cremation.
Yes, and guys are also talking so much about how he has changed Jubilee now not being run the way it is supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I think you guys are not very honest. Jubilee has not changed.
Mm-hmm.
Jubilee is exactly what it was from the time it was formed. The only thing that has changed
yes.
is the enemy has changed.
Now they have a different enemy.
They only have a different enemy. So, because you can't tell me that Jubilee was run very well when they were deporting people like Miguna, defying court orders. Jubilee was well when Bindi Joro was asking the president to be a dictator. Jubilee was good when Moses Kuria was walking around town with Mungiki. Jubilee was good when president was asking other Kenyans wameze mate when wao wakikula nyama. Jubilee was good when William Ruto was on the international media calling us militia. I mean, Jubilee has not changed, only the enemy changed. So just, I know you don't like to hear that, but it is the truth.
It is the truth, my brother.
It is the truth. That was Jubilee, and so by that time, all of you were busy feeding the dog. Now the dog is very big and eating everyone. So I don't think anything has changed because who actually have joined Jubilee? I mean, Tuju was still the Secretary General then.
Where's the opposition?
Who was still the party leader then.
Yeah.
And all these people were cheering everything. So how Jubilee changed, I can't. So mine is Jubilee has not changed. The only thing that changed are the enemies. And so they don't have one common enemy to fight right now. So that is why you see the kind of war within the internal. Some are now calling themselves UDA. But even so, what is different with UDA, because Jubilee was formed, the leadership of the party was supposed to be interim. They refused to go on the ground and do grassroots elections. Only ODM as a party has done grassroots elections in this country, I think, for the past 10 years or so. All these, even UDA, are just regrouping, and they will never go for grassroots elections. They will have those interim and call them interim for 10 years. I mean, that is just normal. Why were they not seeing a possibility of having a party with structures beginning from grassroots elections, and it goes all the way to the National Governing Council and up there? Nothing has happened like that. And when they had the common enemy in Raila Odinga, they never saw it was important to make this party have a voice from the grassroots, where we can say we even have chairman of the ward, we even have chair of the counties and all that. They only saw it was enough to have Tuju and Kositani there, and then have Murade and a few other guys. Now it's not working for them, because that is where the party is. The party is not on the grassroots. Grassroots, it is only in the mind of people that I am a Jubilee, but there is nothing that can show anywhere that they are party and they are organized from the grassroots going up. They are like independent candidates. I mean, the difference is not there. Yeah? Because a political party in Kenya should have even ward elections where somebody knows, I am the secretary of ODM party in this ward, or I am the chair of Jubilee party in this constituency. There is nothing like that. So what is different when they are talking about independent candidates? They are the same. Because the party only begins from Tuju going up. And that is what they have had all this time. Yeah? Their focus was on fighting Raila Odinga. Some of them not knowing that Raila has been in politics in the last 30 years. So coming to the CJ thing, I think Masa is a result of cherry picking. So who is expecting Masa to actually deny the process that has made her Chief Justice? I think it will be difficult. Yeah?
So you feel the same process that has made the judges also made Martha? She's a baby. She's a baby of the same process.
The same process has made Martha.
Okay.
I mean, it was only on a superficial thing that we are carrying out interviews. But I think if you ask Kenyans, every Kenyan who watched that interview, I don't think if Kenyans were voting, Martha would have been Chief Justice. Do you think so?
I don't know.
Many people would have not picked Martha for sure. Of course, she was one of the best, but if we were picking the best of the best, she wasn't. So cherry picking already happened, and cherry picking is going on. So even the people who say, like the females, they were all over. The future is female. So are they also part of the team crying now? Because
okay.
I mean, all over social media they were celebrating the future is female. So let's just deal with what we have decided to deal with.
Tujifunika na blanketi yetu.
Masaki, congratulations. We will support you, whether in ODM, UDA, or Jubilee, or whatever. And we will also support my friend there in KIAMBAA. Actually, I wish he wins. Yeah?
Yes.
I wish him well in KIAMBAA because he has said something very important. When we still keep on, maybe as ODM, we keep voting to either punish William Ruto, or we vote this way to punish Uhuru Kenyatta, or Jubilee vote that way to punish Raila or punish someone, we will still not be progressing in terms of development. What we will be doing is just punishing those people in a short time.
Okay.
And then after that, those people, the other people who get into power, punish us. And then we get angry and look for someone else to punish in another election. So when we will be celebrating 100 years of independence, but we are punishing each other. It is today Sarah's turn to punish us. Then tomorrow it is my turn to punish him. Then we go on with the cycle of punishment, but we are not developing. While other countries, we keep referring to them that we were with Malaysia at par. Malaysia has gone. We were with Korea at par. Korea has gone. We are busy punishing each other. We are punishing KAMAU for doing this. Then we are punishing Samwel for doing that. Then we are punishing Moi for doing this. Then we are punishing everybody. I mean, I think that was a key thing we need to take away from today's show. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my brother. Karibu kwa show next week.
Aye.
Good morning, Bunga la Mwananchi.
Good morning, Bitok.
How are you, sir?
Mine is to congratulate the young men who have declared and are representing us.
Who am I speaking to?
You are speaking to Lewis from Kasarani.
Sambo, watu wa Kasarani wamejanjaruka. Jambo. Haya, proceed.
Salama sana. Yeah, so me, I'm congratulating the young men. Especially this one from KIAMBAA.
He's called MBUGUA.
MBUGUA.
This one from KIAMBAA.
you know, Bito.
Yes, sir.
In a country dominated by political parties, you know what it means to be an independent candidate.
Yes.
But also the young man running for senator, that one is very encouraging. And I think we should go against the status quo. That one was Masaki SAMWEL.
Yes, SAMWEL.
Exactly. You can support them and we can keep pushing them.
Okay.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Asante sana. I think as young people, you need to realize that we're all fighting one war. I mean, si wote tunaenda safari moja. Haya, bunge la Mwananchi 07798010 simu ya mwisho. Bunge la Mwananchi 0779, mko na masimu mengi hapa nimezipoteza hapa. 07798010 bunge la Mwananchi 07798010 kuna nambari kadhaa. Kama nimepoteza simu yako sijaanza kuichukua, tafadhali kuna nafasi ya kuweza kupiga just one call. Chukua kwenye bunge la Mwananchi alafu tuweze kufunga masimu 07798010 bunge la Mwananchi iko wazi 07798010. Haya, tunasubiri simu ya mwisho. Sijui if there's anything you guys have picked. I'll start with you, MBUGUA, from the calls.
I've picked something about dictatorship in Jubilee, and where the rain started beating this ruling party. You see, what happened in Kenya, the only politics that have divided this nation started in Mount Kenya. William Ruto has not crisscrossed any other region in this country for the last 5 years more than Mount Kenya. And I will tell you why he did that. Why? He opened our eyes to the interests of the people of Mount Kenya. We were voting against Raila to be the president. So politically we were rewarding Uhuru and Ruto. And then Ruto came in Mount Kenya and told us, hey, you guys, you need to have some expectations with this government. Begin to speak about your coffee. Begin to speak about your about everything, your economic things in Mount Kenya, so that you benefit from this from this regime before it goes out of power. And then he opened our eyes.
Jambo, this is the last call. Bunga la Manyanchi.
Yes, Gerald, good morning.
Good morning to you. So am I speaking to?
Kevin Rono from Eldoret.
Watu LD jambo.
Tuko poa bro. Chama ilikufa.
Ala?
Jubilee is dead. And the masterminds are the co-principals.
Okay.
Wenye waliwa Jubilee ni wenye chama. Okay, in Kenya, the reality that we cannot shun away is that these parties belongs to some few individuals.
Okay.
These wengine ni wafanyikazi huko.
Sasa nani alinyonga Jubilee?
The president himself and his deputy. And these are the facts,
Okay. Why do you say that, sir?
Since okay, kama president hatakuwa na interest 2022. Hatatumia Jubilee kwa sababu ya kitu moja. Hatakuwa akispend pesa zake akijua hawezi tumia. And that is why deputy realized and opted out, because he knew in history of politics in Kenya. Hawezi tumia chama mara mbili unless you're a dictator.
Hello? Hello? Kapotea tena. Anyway, sawa. Proceed to your thoughts. Mbugu, I think there's the last call we are going to pick. Okay. So
what happened? William Ruto knew the only way he can be president is the same votes that made Uhuru president. Okay. And so he knew politically Mount Kenya has...
Closer to your microphone.
Politically, he knew that Mount Kenya has survived in power by working with people and later dumping them. That's how politics... There is nothing wrong with that. In this world, you're punished for being lied to, not for lying. So what William Ruto did, he opened our eyes to the interest that we can have expectations with power. And so politically, we began to demand our economic place with the sitting president from our region. And so we started talking about our coffee. We started talking about our milk. So we became politically angry with the president, demanding for our economic place, at least with his presidency. And then I also picked something with the independent candidates. We have an independent candidate in Kenya who was voted the best performing member of parliament in Kenya. He is an independent candidate. He's from Thika. I was actually shocked
like Kipia governor is an independent candidate.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right. So parliament holds the power. It is the epitome of power, of political power, social power, and economic power. And so we need to place a demand of accountability from this place by the people themselves and from the people. People don't need... being a member of parliament, you don't need to be in any political party to form a government. Even a government can be formed by 2 members of parliament or 3 MCAs, and then they form a government by a national party. So we are asking our people to start placing demands of their economy and their interest with their members of parliament through policy making. That is how to run the economy and politics, and also the money that comes that goes directly to the people, by the virtue that you're a member of parliament. And so we are telling people, having as many independent members of parliament is the future for this nation, because parliament is where everything about this nation is determined. So we are trying to forge a way forward for independent members of parliament come 2022. MCAs can be from a political party, senators can be from a political party, but members of parliament need to be independent candidates if we are going to help this nation. Yes.
Okay. All right. Masaki.
Just number one, to give a view on what you've sent in terms of the report from the former CJ. And I think he has raised very pertinent issues in terms of the violation of the constitution which the president swore to abide by it. And some of the issues in terms of the violation of the court orders, in terms of not following his mandate as the president. And he talks about, there was a framework that they had with the JSC in 2015. In that framework, they agreed that if the president has issues or has got reports of a candidate who has been shortlisted, he should present those reports to JSC so that they can be able to go through it, and not later after the recruitment process, of which the president did not do that. So for him to go to against the will and against his authority as the president, not to appoint the 41 judges, was actually a violation of the constitution. Okay. So he has mentioned pertinent issues that the president has gone against in terms of even not following the rule of law and not consulting even the judiciary in some of these issues. So at that stage, we tend to also bring the issue of the Attorney General. Is he the one who is misleading the president? Or is the president not just willing to accept that he's breaking the constitution? Okay. So at this stage, it's upon the new CJ, who is Martha, to be able to come out strongly, advocate for what is in the constitution and the mandate of the president, so that he can be with the people. But as things stands, as what we are seeing, considering the recent times of what happened in Kisumu, the president just blatantly saying that this is what is happening in the judiciary, and is not willing to, is just not willing to go by what the constitution says, is a clear that the president wants to rule over the judiciary. Yes. Okay. So we should be able to now, to as Kenyans, to give us a wake-up call and to force the CJ to face the president and tell them what, if he's breaking the law, let him be told. The way the 5 bench told the president that there is clear violation of the constitution. There are these the things that he's doing is not following the law. Yes.
Okay. All right. Any comments on the calls?
Majority of the people are willing. They're willing, and they're saying there is an alternative. They're talking about independent candidate as well. Okay. We don't want to rule them out. As far as we have been there as independent candidates, we can be able to achieve that. But majority of people do not want to accept that. We would wish to have an independent president, but our people are not willing to accept that. We are still trying to push them. But we cannot close our eyes and say that we are going just to go by that. We are trying also to say let's choose the saying choosing of a better devil. Okay, that you can work with.
Of a lesser devil.
Yes, of a lesser devil that you can work with. Okay. Yes, because no one wants to lose the vote. Okay, we don't want to vote a losing candidate. Yes. It's not that we don't want an independent candidate
as a president.
Brother. Yes, we also want to support you as an independent candidate, and I also wish you the best. By the way,
this is a member of parliament position. It's not a presidential.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Even for president.
But I am very happy that now from this we are having a conversation of having an independent candidate. I am so happy.
By the way,
but this is just
before I finish. Before I finish,
yes,
we are not cast on stone. As long as Jubilee loses in KIAMBAA, we don't have any problem. Yes, if you take it as an independent candidate, we're okay with it.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as Jubilee loses.
Oh, as long as
yes
loses.
Merudi kama ya Kisii ilikuwa wapi? The other by-election in Kisii. Saying ODM are saying eri UDA ishinde lakini si Jubilee. UDA are saying eri ODM ishinde lakini si Jubilee. Interesting times. And now Jubilee and ODM are in handshake. Interesting. I forgot to ask Odede the same question. Anyway, Odede, if you are listening, let's go back to Kisii. You know, where ODM was preferring UDA over Jubilee and vice versa. Interesting times. wacha niangalie gazeti hapa the standard inasema it's race against time for Uhuru Kenyatta. Legacy president has 13 months to cement his legacy and development, change the constitution through BBI and navigate the aided succession politics. Budget, why there is nothing to smile about. For every shillings 100 collected to taxes, Kenya shillings 70 will go into servicing debt, leaving the meager shillings 30 to fund all other needs. Interesting times to be alive. All right, that's 2021 budget, 1.8 trillion. Total tax revenue that KRA expects to collect 1.8 trillion. Okay, 30% percentage that will remain from taxes to be used for all other spending needs. 70% fraction of all tax revenue will go to repaying loans. Treasury will spend shillings 1.2 trillion to service debt. Okay, MBUGUA seeks to make PE compulsory. The physical education and sports policy for education for basic education to launch today by Education Minister seeks to make the subject compulsory and taught like other regular disciplines. Entertainment, being African is not about black skin. Wakenya Cleo is a US-based Kenyan singer and social influencer. Influencer as friends and strangers intrigued by a controversial lifestyle. Opinion, perhaps Kenya's saving grace is a system of leadership renewal every 5 years. Hope of change at the ballot is the blow valve that provides release of pent-up energy frustration. By the way, looking at it, I think we only have 5 years every day to vent and to cry about the frustrations and make another mistake for 5 years. So we give it to him. We appreciate our democracy of 5 years. Maybe you only need to reduce it. It's good to know me, son. The one who was saying 7 years, I think it's too long to suffer for our choices. Former CJ text on President over judges. Our killings in Ethiopian town started. Road posts Tana River Lamu Trade. Legends pay tribute to Ayimba. It's interesting how we celebrate dead people. Anyway, it's Kenya. We love it. TB Joshua, Nigerian outsider who became a global TV star. Mambo ya Nigeria pale, jamaa alituacha. TB Joshua, President's Lab during a walkabout. Mambo ya Ufaransa. Okay. Aya, tuone kama kuna kitu nyingine kwenye pages. With 1.2 trillion debt bill, Yehane must borrow from Peter to pay Paul. Omba kwa Petero, ulipe Paulo. Omba Petero, lipa Paulo. Wakizidi, unaomba kwa Paulo na Petero, alafu unaenda unatafuta tena Joana. Unaomba kwa Joana. Okay. Since the government is struggling with Tala, unajua Kenya pia wanaomba Tala, wanalipa Okoa, wanaokoa pale, wanalipa SG branch. So it looks like we're in the same cycle with government. Yes. Anyway, it's a good time to be alive. Workers grapple with the ravages of coronavirus. Okay, lock data block bid to solve IDP problem. Uhuru was 13 months to secure legacy in face of succession race, and I mean it's getting crazy because he has a lot of balls he's juggling with. Resign if you can't obey law, XCJ tells the presidency. LSK wrangles may lock lawyers out of practice. Nitaka after president avia tuambie nini endelea kwao Friday. Lela misi OG officials amid fund please. Okay, tuangalie kwa gazeti ya Nation. Gazeti ya Nation inasemaje? Gazeti ya Nation, parties in hot race for 2022 numbers. The total numbers ya voters ni kama wanasema hapa ni 16.3 million ambao kwa register Uhuru in Ethiopia for Safaricom's big moment. Telco gets lessons as it spreads its wings. Congratulations to Safaricom. Where crime death luck in city slums, gangsters and killer police officers live chick by Joe. Budget, fuel tax, top list as concerns. Judicial reformer CJ Mtunga stinging letter to Uhuru. Shame politicians behaving badly at Ndile funeral. Stop the extra levies, parents tell CS Magoa. Okay. Unajua hii mwaka ni ya kulipa fees na kukaa na watoto. Wanaenda kidogo, wanarudi. Kama wanaenda kutembea holiday weekend alafu wanarudi. These figures are the strength of parties and most of them don't want any numbers shared without their authorization. In case I give them out, it will look like I'm inciting them against each other. Under it to register political parties, 16.3 million registered members in political parties, up to 7.6 million in 2013 according to the parties register. Okay, with revelation that registered party members have doubled in the last 8 years, Jubilee and ODM are taking claim to the lion's share of voters, while the newly formed United Democratic Alliance is fast building a support base. Interesting times. I even remember actually URP was formed in August, September. Towards the elections. A gas downfall for senior boys. Antics campus life is a myth. Okay. Blind at tattoo and Evelyn prepares for life in her own world. Interesting times. Getting blind at tattoo and all the things you've seen. How do you forget them? Inside Obado, DP plan to wrestle Nyasa from Raila. Wanataka kubeba Nyasa kutoka kwa baba. Au parties ranking membership as 2022 poll nears. Mutunga stinging letter to Uhuru Kenyatta over 6 judges. Okay. Wacha niangalie sijui niko na nini tena kwa magazeti nyingine ya Star. I just look at the Star very briefly. Nilikuwa nimeangalia Star kidogo. Right. Gazeti the People Daily nasemaje? Gazeti People Daily nasema exposed how COVID billions were misused. Audit General accuses top state official of operating illegal bank accounts, floating procurement laws and making questionable decisions that ended up in wastage of resources. Sports World elevates Ayimba as a go-getter. Why school heads are happy with fees directive, law, food prices, taxation and stimulus top budget wish list. Actually, they call it wish list. Okay. Nimeona okay. Taifa linasema Oka ya yumba. Hii ni One Kenya Alliance inasemekana kwamba ina yumba pale. The newest alliance in town is already yumba. Business Daily, SBM to pay for the tax on CBK interest free loan. Farms revive plans for fresh optimism. Okay, I think hiyo ndio Standard sema COVID-19 kills libido, ruins fun in the bedroom. Nearly half of married couples became dissatisfied with sex, wanted it less often. Mutunga Uhuru exercising power recklessly. Okay, that's it for the day. I don't know if you have anything you want to say about. I have an interesting. If you're going to read the Star, you need to read the op-ed by Kendo. Says when watchdogs don't bark. Okay, it's what we are going to buy the Standard. Aya, so the Star, that is. Aya, tunafunga kioski. Daanza nawe Masaki. Kama wewe ndio uko tayari.
Number one, I want to first present my candidate as a candidature as a Senate Nairobi come 2022, and I'll be meeting different stakeholders and different opinion leaders across the county to mobilize my vote base. And also I also want to urge the young people to be on the forefront in this journey, because we want to reclaim the lost glory of Nairobi. And number two, I also want to urge the presidency, let the president follow the constitution. Let him stand and stand guided in what he swore to abide.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I will start by saying that, and we can equate the magnitude of our joblessness among the nation in this country by equating it to 20 years. Until we actively put these young people to work, then we are going to rag in poverty. And so I am asking all the people of KIAMBAA to come out on the 15th of July to vote for me as an independent candidate, so that we can restore hope and faith and respect for the youth of this nation. We are not vying because we are youths. We are vying because we are well capable and we are good enough to run our own nation. We are the change we want to see.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys for coming in. It's been a pleasure having you. Janina watu wa YouTube kidogo. Wanasemaje? I'll start right up on YouTube. Okay. Cleophas Matao says the guy who slapped president is a hero. Presidential slap has restored factory settings. That president to think of everyone regardless of class. Watu wana suffer. Okay. Bob says ahead thinking Kenyan young men it's lazy and stupid. Okay. Cleo says it is WILLIE and MBUGUA. His sentiments aren't independent, as he claims. The guy is leaned towards the late Jubilee.
What can we achieve with the 1 year that is left? That is the question.
Okay. The youth estate says, good morning, Gerald, watching the show from Roysamba. Thank you so much. Frederick Juma anasema whatever the president has done, his deputy will not even reach there because he has no interest and will not develop the country. Uhuru amejaribu sana tena, just to give him credit where is due. D. Mwara says this guy MBUGUA is okay. Doesn't know that we are tired of the president. There is no amount of defense that can change the situation. Let him finish and go for good, or rather we imprison for violence. Violence. Okay. Dear Mwara says the guy in MBUGUA is a Jubilee on a bill. Let the truth be told.
No. What can we do with the remaining 1 year?
Okay.
Jubilee is the government.
Martin Warui anasema political parties are here to stay. What is happening is that people are disapproving political parties' management styles and and demystifying them as only path to being elected into office. Okay, Clearfast Matao Tenai on issues of the party says not soon. MBUGUA should also tell us where was Biden those years before he woke up of bottom-up economic model. So he castigates the DP more than anybody in Jubilee party. Only 8 years, let him be real. Okay, Grace KAMAU says, Bitok, I can confidently say that the president is the one killing Jubilee because his plan was to frustrate and finish WSR, but it has backfired on him. Grace KAMAU, the president thought he will go with the whole Mount Kenya to isolate WSR, but it has backfired on him. Mount Kenya tunasimama na WSR, period. Okay. Thomas Ochieng says, following from Ugunja Market, Siaya County as usual, bottom-up, middle-out economic model is the only way to go. Grace KAMAU, the caller is not informed at all. I think he's talking about the last caller. I'm assuming the last caller. Okay. I just love this guy talking now. My vote for him. Asante. Grace KAMAU, the guy going for senator. Atakupigia kura. Kelvin Kenyatta watching from Southampton. Very good show. Thank you so much, Kelvin Kenyatta. Grace KAMAU, Masaki as my vote. Okay. Haya, Masaki, tayari utaanza kulipia makura ambazo umepata hapa kwa leo. Najua bili imepanda. Karoki wa Masi anasema gani bitoka request ndipo Masaki Samuel to text me his number on my timeline. Tafuta mtu anatoka Karoki wa Masi, sababu mtumia namba. Tuongee. Andrea Chasire anasema falling. Asante sana. Charles Patrick Jambo Masaki, I wish you well, brother, all the very best. Karoki wa Masi anasema Michael Odede, please note that when the dog starts biting the owner, the best way is to declare death penalty to it. Chalo Mbudi anasema the judge have been sworn in under coercion. When you look at the body language of mother at the photo session, it gives out a lot. James Mwenda Ure is only for 13 months. Mother Kome has close to 9 years in office. Mother should not waste a time trying to fight Uhuru. The work of the CJ is to service the people, not to keep fighting the executive. Okay. Abbas Njuguna, Secretary General, is even struggling to defend the party that is still holding. It's still trying to repair crashed eggshell. All right. It's great having you guys. This is a tackle. The tackle ends now. It's been a pleasure. See you again tomorrow on Diaspora Edition. This is a tackle, and the tackle ends now. Signing out. We love you. Bye bye.